Sebastian Cossa to the Edmonton Oilers. Cam Robinson said on one of our sister shows, Sekeres and Price, you can check them out.
Shout out.
They are looking a little more long-term. I was told they've contacted Detroit. I believe the first person they asked for was Trey Augustine, who is an American goaltender, but that was a non-starter. They have Sebastian Cossa sitting right there, as in Detroit do. Detroit have a ton of goalies. They actually have all the goalies in the NHL, I believe, last time I checked. Obviously, they went out and got John Gibson this offseason. They have Cam Talbot there already. Alex Lyon left, right?
I believe.
Yeah, he must have left. Up. There's no way they went and... Yeah. Here's a goalie depth job. John Gibson, Cam Talbot, Sebastian Cossa, Carter Gylander, former Show Park Crusader, good Leduc, Alberta boy, Trey Augustine. They also have a few other players as well. Michael Postova, and a couple of guys they drafted in the last few years. Sebastian Cossa, obviously the name we're all very familiar with, former Edmonton Oil King, won the Western Hockey League with the Oil Kings, if I am not mistaken. Yes, they did. In 2022, they won. He had a 46 games, 913 save percentage. Also played a game at the World Juniors that year. Played one game for the Detroit Red Wings last season, 2.62 goals against average, 857, won that game. Had a 911 save percentage in 41 games, 2.45 goals against for the Grand Rapids Griffins as well. He is only 22 years old, 23 in November. Former first-round pick of the Red Wings in 2021. When the Oilers famously wanted to get a goalie, named Sebastian Cossa, and didn't. Because they picked 22nd, traded down. Ironically, another goalie was taken in the spot where Minnesota traded up to at 20th. Jesper Wallstead, the Oilers took Xavier Bourgault. One step ahead of Wyatt Johnson, Mikey Samoskevich. Damn it. What could have been? If the Oilers want to get Cossa, is it similar, Aaron, to what a Yaroslav Askarov package is going to be? So with Askarov, obviously, it was with Nashville. Requested a trade, which we haven't heard Cossa has requested a trade by any means. But with Askarov, another player called Nolan Burke went the other way along with a third-round pick to San Jose, who had to trade David Edstrom, who was the prospect they got from Vegas in the Thomas Hertl trade, Magnus Krona, who is the goalie the Oilers absolutely annihilated that season, a Swedish goalie. Not really a prospect, I would say. And a conditional first-round pick. I'm not sure what the conditions were, but it ended up being Riker Lee this season for from San Jose, from Nashville. Played for Madison in the USHL. Can the Oilers make a trade like that happen? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know if they would have a prospect. I don't think David Edstrom is anything like too special. He's obviously been tossed around, and Florida, San Jose didn't have much attachment to him. Like I said, he was traded from one team to the next, now off to the next. Hasn't played in North America yet either. Playing in Fallunda in Sweden right now, but did come over and play, 4 games in the American League for Milwaukee, but did not get a point. Had a couple of stints of the World Juniors, decent player. Is Boakey enough? I don't know. Boakey,
I think that's the first
pick?
name that pops into my head.
To be,
that you're gonna.
The other guys are in.
Yeah,
the NHL.
We need them to play. I think that for Askarov, and I see a lot of people in the chat kind of the same thing here, that he had a little bit more pedigree to him. He had played longer in the A. He had some games in the NHL.
Only 2.
Now, yes. I guess it's twice as much more.
Yeah, it is twice. And he had a 943 in both of those
My
games.
thing with these prospect trades, and I'm the pre-post guy. I always feel like I'm so off in what overvaluing, undervaluing our own prospects, so that sometimes I'm surprised by this. Not the best guy. Personally, hand up to try and think this one out, but for me, once again, like if you're going to have to give up a first-round pick and a Boakey and something else, I got to be so certain that Stuart Skinner is, in fact, not the guy. And we're close. We're close to that. It could be there. Who knows? But I am not there yet. So I don't know if I'm fully on board to do that. Then the other aspect I had when I read this news is I was like, oh, the Detroit Red Wings are totally the team to fumble that return back for that player. This is the team. This is the deal. So I don't know. We'll see. I would think less than Askarov.
BBJ said, what's your point? Wolf played one game in the NHL, came back the next year, and almost won the Calder. I actually haven't made my point at all yet. I was just stating he has played one game in the NHL, and I think Gord had a good point to follow it up with. He said, I'm good with the Oilers improving their high-end goaltending depth, but I don't see how that helps them for next season or two. It's either Skinner and or someone proven. Mm-hmm. I like, don't get me wrong, I don't think Skinner would go back in this trade. It makes no sense for Detroit to even take a Stuart Skinner in this deal. This would be, can he be the backup for the Oilers on a cheaper deal? I know it's not too much cheaper than what Calvin Pickett makes, but it's an ELC. And
the words that were being used was they're trying to widen their scope on goaltending and look long-term and a couple steps down the road.
Kossa's got the ceiling to be an unbelievable goalie in the NHL. He's a guy who I think it's fair to say the Oil Kings have struggled to replace since he left. And I know with junior hockey is one thing, but like, he's around. We know what it was all about. 8,603, oh my goodness, $800,063, something like that is his deal. Oh. He's a good player. I totally messed it up. Just over 800,000.
There we go. I was like $8,000. Let's get this man.
I would take the shot at him. I agree with what you said, Aaron. I don't think it would be quite the same deal as what an Askarov would be, but I think the Oilers would have to give up some kind of conditional first-round pick in the deal, which is fine. They have
that's the start. Like that's
100%. I think it was Isaac in the chat was saying like he doesn't want to give up Bo Akey. Look, man, you're probably going to have to give up a Bo Akey in this deal, unless, for example, Detroit, and I honestly, Ty Emberson, maybe they turn around and be like, we'll take Ty Emberson, $1.3 million, 25 years old, right shot defenseman. He's ready to play. Our defense isn't that great. I don't think Ty Emberson improves him that much, but I also don't think Bo Akey's like a lock to be a consistent NHL player either.
I don't want to lose Bo Akey either, but
I mean, wouldn't be sorry.
It's like the value for me. It's like, if you don't have a goaltender.
Yeah.
That is much more valuable than your third best defensive prospect who you don't know might hit.
Totally.
That's a sacrificial lamb through and through, but who knows there? I'm not fully... I don't know. I'd have to see some of these deals. I need Bob to tell me what he's thinking the return would be.
Bob did hint at the Oilers might have looked at him as well. Maybe they can get him a little bit cheaper. If he is there, if Detroit, evidently, I would think if they're saying like, no, you cannot have Trey Augustine, that to me says that that's who they believe is going to be their future number one, not Sebastian Cossa, which is maybe also a reason why you shouldn't take a goalie in the first round of a draft, because I think Trey Augustine was way later. Let me have a quick look at that. But either way.
Goaltending, voodoo.
Trey Augustine was a second-round pick, so not way later, but 41st overall, they were able to snag him there. And obviously, too, the Oilers are looking at someone like Samuel Johansson right now as well, who was, their sixth-round pick and just won a goalie award over in Europe. I don't know. What I would do for this trade, I would give up a first-round pick. I would give up probably a Bo Akey if I had to, and then hope that maybe I can just give up a contract player. I think one thing, too, that we always forget is, like you said, Aaron, like, we always overvalue what trades are. The Oilers got Jake Wallman for Carl Berglund and a first-round pick.
The Sharks got Jake Wallman for nothing.
The Sharks got Jake Wallman for nothing. So I'd be fine with Bo Akey going if this was the case. I think Wolf is a good goalie. I think Askarov has been a good goalie. Why can Cossa not come in and do that? Also, too, both those guys were given like 50-plus games to go and play, or 45, whatever it ended up being. Cossa's probably going to get 30, hypothetically, if he was to come to Edmonton. But the year after, maybe it forces the Oilers not to sign Stuart Skinner and to just find someone else to play with Cossa at a cheaper deal. Another angle of this, how young do the Oilers really want to get? To have a rookie goalie, 2 rookie forwards, potentially an inexperienced rookie in Noah Philp as well on the fourth line. Like, you're running into a bit of like, I know no one liked it when we were the oldest team in the league, but we don't need to be the youngest team either. Yep. I also believe that the young guys can come in and have big impacts, and those are the high ceiling players, so I'd be fine with it. I just find it very interesting that they're almost going from one extreme to the next in a way.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation, and you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.